So you're a bright athlete and a very savvy adult, and you've been working on your flexibility, your range of motion, but somehow it never really seems to improve. Well, in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly why that's the case, and it probably will never improve unless you make this critical adjustment. Yo, what's up guys? I'm Frank Daniels. Before we rock and roll, make sure you download my free core training report where I give my 9 best tips on how you can build a rock solid core. You can download that by clicking this link right here. If you're on a mobile device, head down below. It's the first link in the description. Now, let's talk flexibility, range of motion, stretching. To some fitness professionals, they tend to be different things for the sake and purpose of people who may not understand the difference between those. They all kind of sit under the same umbrella. We're just talking semantics. So we want to improve range of motion to improve performance and improve your body's health, your joint health. So it comes down to the difference between being passive or being active. So passive stretching and active stretching. And for you guys who may not understand the difference between those things, I'm going to use the shoulder joint, for example, or just kind of use the chest muscle. So if I wanted to stretch my chest and I was going to do it passively, what I would do is I would walk up to a wall and I'd set my arm like this, and then I'd use the wall to leverage against, and I'd be able to kind of open up my chest muscle and stretch out this area. I might do it straight arm, I might use a wall, I might have someone assist me getting into this position. That's a passive stretch, whereas I'm not doing anything with my body in order to be able to get there. I'm using an outside object or an outside force to create leverage in order to get into that, okay? Which can create extra range of motion for a limited time, and eventually it's gonna go back into play. So for the purpose of this video, I assume most people are doing passive stretching, which is different than an active stretch. Now, if I wanted to, I can just actively stretch this chest muscle by sticking my arm out and now using these muscles on the back side of my shoulder to literally pull back. And now I have an active stretch going on where, again, my chest is stretching out and I'm actively using my body to physically put myself in the position and increase range of motion. Now, what's important to understand is that for every action is an equal and opposite action. So at every joint, or every muscle that you're going to stretch, there's a muscle on the opposite side of it that needs to be activated in order to create permanent range of motion. So again, using the chest, like I can stretch my chest out, right, all day long, but if I don't tell the muscles on the opposite side of the joint that we're going to create new range of motion, and hey, buddy, back there, I need you to be able to hold that range of motion in place, it's not really going to stick. So really smart fitness professionals use terms like neuromuscular control and motor control. Now, I don't claim to be that smart of a fitness professional, but if I can break that down for you guys, all it really means is my brain, the muscles, here's stretch muscle, here's muscles we need to get active and fired up in order to get that into position. All that stuff needs to communicate and coordinate together. So again, if I'm going to crank on the front of this, right, and try to stretch it and get it into position, I need this other stuff to be in line with it. They all got to coordinate and communicate together, because without that, once again, it's going to go right back to where it started in the first place. On the flip side, creating a whole bunch of range of motion that is not controlled actively, has no neuromuscular communication, again, brain, muscles, hey, let's all work together with this new range of motion, is dangerous. And the body perceives it as dangerous. So you create a whole bunch of range of motion and then you go try to get into it. You pull an athletic move that you're just not strong enough to be able to control, and that's how you get injured. And your body knows that, and that's exactly why it's going to return right back to the start, because it wants to maintain homeostasis. So the simple way that you think about this is whenever you want to stretch a particular muscle group, or you're aiming at muscles trying to protect the joint, because you know that's what's going on, quite simply, just go on the opposite side of the body. So again, here's the chest. Most people need to stretch that. You just see my posture right there. Oh, I need some stretching myself there. All right, there's my chest. It's tight. Opposite side of the body, that's the stuff that's got to get active. I need to turn those muscles on. I need to do strength exercises after I stretch in order to be able to set the balance at the particular joint, or improve the flexibility or range of motion in the area that I'm working on. Now, there's more to the range of motion equation that we're probably going to get in today, things like foam rolling or self-mount fascial release. What that really means is using some type of massage, self-massage, some type of tool to get into the tissue, the soft tissue, and make it more pliable, give it more of an ability to stretch before we even start stretching. We know when we are going to stretch, passive stretching is going to require, in order to improve range of motion for good, that we get active on the opposite side of the body or the opposite side of the joint. So I need to turn muscles on or do some strength exercises on the opposite side in order to make that new range of motion stick. I can also just stretch actively in the first place. So finding ways to take my body through a range of motion, doing it with my muscles and not passive, doing it with my body, turning stuff on and getting into these end range of motion is going to help me improve my flexibility for good. If you guys really enjoyed this video, I got more information for you. If you want to download my free core training report with my 9 best tips on how to get the best rock solid core you've ever had, click this link right here. If you're on a mobile device, head down below. It's the first link in the description. As always, if you guys really appreciate this video, head down below, like, leave a comment, tell us exactly what you want to see, and of course, subscribe to this channel. My name is Frank Daniels. Enjoy your new flexibility gains. Get active. Passive versus too much time on my hands. Putting the whole there's some other shit that you gotta do. Shit. Give us increased range of motion. Fuck. Oh, shit.